Before we start the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. David sat on the porch, anxiously waiting for his mother's arrival. The warm summer breeze rustled the leaves, but he couldn't find solace in nature's gentle caress. After years of anticipation, the day had finally come. His mother was coming home from prison. David's childhood had been a tumultuous one. His parents had divorced when he was just 5 years old, leaving him in the care of his mother. Unfortunately, she fell into a spiral of drug addiction and criminal activities, which ultimately led to her incarceration. David was left alone, bouncing between foster homes and feeling the void of a stable family. Despite the circumstances, David held onto a flicker of hope that his mother would change once she completed her sentence. He imagined a fresh start, a chance for them to rebuild their fractured relationship. However, as the taxi pulled up to the house, David's heart pounded with conflicting emotions. The door swung open, and there she stood. A frail figure, her once vibrant eyes now clouded with remorse and weariness. Tears welled up in David's eyes as he hesitated to greet her. But the memories of abandonment and disappointment flooded back, overpowering any remaining affection. "And Mom," he stammered, his voice choked with resentment. "I can't let you in." His mother's face crumpled, her hopes for redemption shattering before her. She pleaded with David, promising to change, to be a better person and mother. But he stood his ground, his heart heavy with the burden of his childhood scars. He couldn't bear the risk of being hurt again. Days turned into weeks, and David reluctantly settled into a new routine. He enrolled himself in high school, determined to shape his own destiny and break free from the cycle of neglect. But reality soon dawned on him as he realized the harsh truth: he needed a job to sustain himself. David went from one establishment to another, submitting applications and hoping for a chance to prove himself. He possessed a strong work ethic, but the burden of his mother's past tainted his chances. Each interview ended with rejection, the whispers of his mother's mistakes echoing in the employer's ears. Finally, David stumbled upon a small cafe nestled in a quiet neighborhood. With a glimmer of hope, he walked inside and asked to speak to the manager. The middle-aged man with graying hair gave him a curious glance but invited him to sit down. "I've been searching for a job, sir," David began, his voice tinged with desperation. "I know my past isn't perfect, but I promise you I'm a different person now." The manager listened intently, his gaze piercing through David's facade. After a long pause, he leaned back in his chair and said, "You know, I've heard about your mother. People in this town have talked. But I believe in giving everyone a second chance. Show me what you're capable of." David's eyes widened in disbelief. His heart swelled with gratitude, realizing that not everyone judged him solely on his mother's actions. With renewed determination, he poured his heart and soul into his work at the cafe. Day by day, he proved his worth, earning the respect and trust of his colleagues and customers alike. Years passed, and David's dedication paid off. He eventually became the manager of the cafe, creating a nurturing environment for his employees and cultivating a loyal customer base. He used his own experiences to empathize with others, becoming a symbol of hope and resilience in the community. As time went on, David's estranged mother would occasionally visit the cafe. She would sit quietly in a corner booth, watching her son from afar, her eyes brimming with bittersweet pride. Their interactions remained limited and tentative as they both navigated the delicate balance between forgiveness and self-preservation. One particularly busy evening, as David rushed around the cafe, he noticed a woman sitting alone at a table near the entrance. Her tired eyes and unkempt appearance caught his attention. Something about her seemed oddly familiar. As he approached, his heart skipped a beat. It was his mother. "Mom?" David's voice trembled with a mix of surprise and concern. His mother looked up, her eyes filled with a mix of shame and longing. "David," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Without a word, David pulled out a chair and sat across from her. They sat in silence for what felt like an eternity, the bustling cafe fading into the background. The wounds of the past resurfaced, but this time there was a glimmer of understanding. "I never stopped loving you." His mother finally spoke, her voice choked with emotion. "I know I failed you, but I've spent every day in prison regretting my choices. I've changed, David. I want to be a part of your life again." David studied his mother's face, seeing the genuine remorse etched in every line. The weight of their shared pain, the years lost, and the possibility of a future together collided within him. "You have a long way to go to earn my trust back," David replied, his voice steady but filled with vulnerability. "But I'm willing to give you a chance." A mixture of relief and gratitude washed over his mother's face. They both knew it wouldn't be easy, that rebuilding what was broken would take time and effort. But they were ready to embark on this journey together, armed with forgiveness and a shared desire for redemption. From that day forward, David and his mother began the slow process of rebuilding their relationship. It was far from perfect, as the scars of the past continued to surface now and then, but they navigated through them with newfound understanding and empathy. As for the cafe, it thrived under David's management, becoming a symbol of hope and second chances. Employees with troubled pasts found solace and support within its walls, while customers embraced the notion of forgiveness and growth. David's unexpected ending was not one of bitterness or resentment. It was a tale of forgiveness, redemption, and the unyielding power of love. In letting his mother back into his life, he discovered that sometimes the most unexpected paths lead to the most extraordinary transformations. Years passed, and David's cafe became a pillar of the community, a place where people could find warmth, understanding, and a fresh start. The stories of redemption and second chances that unfolded within its walls touched the hearts of many, resonating with the patrons who walked through its doors. David's relationship with his mother continued to grow stronger. They shared moments of laughter and tears, mending the fractures of the past one thread at a time. Together, they confronted their demons, addressing the pain and rebuilding trust through open and honest conversations. One day, as David sat in his office reviewing some paperwork, a familiar face appeared in the doorway. It was his mother, her eyes sparkling with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "David, I have something important to tell you," she said, a hint of nervousness in her voice. Curiosity piqued, David put down his pen and gave her his full attention. "What is it, Mom?" Taking a deep breath, his mother reached into her bag and pulled out an envelope. She handed it to David, who opened it to find a certificate of achievement. It was an acceptance letter from a prestigious university, an opportunity for his mother to pursue her long-abandoned dream of becoming a social worker. Tears welled up in David's eyes as he looked at his mother, his heart swelling with pride. "Mom, this is incredible. I can't believe it." His mother smiled, her eyes shining with gratitude. "I wouldn't have found the strength to pursue this without your love and support. You've shown me that it's never too late to chase our dreams, no matter how far-fetched they may seem." Together, they celebrated this newfound chapter in their lives. David proudly stood by his mother's side as she enrolled in university, providing her with the support she had needed all those years ago. The cafe thrived under the guidance of their dedicated staff, who had become like a family to them both. As David reflected on his journey, he realized that his unexpected ending was one of remarkable transformation and forgiveness. The scars of his past no longer defined him, but rather they became a source of strength, a reminder of the resilience that lay within him. Years later, David stood on the stage of a crowded auditorium, wearing a cap and gown. His mother, sitting in the front row, beamed with pride as he delivered his valedictory speech. In that moment, surrounded by loved ones and supporters, he acknowledged the power of forgiveness, the strength of the human spirit, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. As the applause filled the room, David knew that his story, their story, would continue to inspire others, and in that unexpected ending, he found not only his own redemption but also the ability to touch the lives of countless others, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope could be found, and second chances were worth fighting for. In the years that followed, David's story spread beyond the confines of his community. The media caught wind of the cafe's remarkable success and the inspiring tale of David's reconciliation with his mother. News outlets ran feature stories, and invitations poured in for David to share his experiences at conferences and events focused on resilience and forgiveness. David embraced these opportunities, traveling far and wide to speak about his journey. He became a renowned advocate for second chances, using his own story as a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the importance of breaking the cycle of judgment and stigma. His speeches resonated with people from all walks of life: incarcerated individuals seeking hope, families torn apart by addiction, and those struggling to forgive themselves or others. David's words reminded them that redemption was possible, that mistakes did not define one's future, and that the capacity for change resided within each individual. The cafe's success continued to grow, with branches opening in other cities, each run by individuals who had overcome their own challenges and found solace in David's vision. The establishment became not only a place to enjoy a cup of coffee, but a sanctuary for those seeking support and a fresh start. But amidst the acclaim and success, David remained grounded. He never forgot the pain and hardships he had endured, and he was determined to create lasting change beyond his cafe's walls. He established a foundation, offering scholarships and resources to children with incarcerated parents, aiming to break the cycle and give them the opportunities he had fought so hard to find. Years turned into decades, and David's impact continued to ripple through society. His story became a cornerstone in the fight for criminal justice reform, highlighting the importance of rehabilitation and second chances. His mother, now a respected social worker, joined him in his advocacy, using her own journey of redemption to inspire others. On the day of David's retirement, the cafe that had become a symbol of resilience and forgiveness was filled with friends, family, and loyal customers. As he looked around, taking in the familiar faces and the stories etched in the cafe's history, he couldn't help but feel a sense of profound gratitude. In a heartfelt speech, David expressed his appreciation to everyone who had been a part of his journey. He acknowledged the pain and adversity that had shaped him, but also the love and support that had guided him along the way. And as he thanked his mother, who sat in the front row, tears streamed down his face, a testament to the depth of their shared transformation. As David stepped out of the cafe's doors for the last time, he knew that his unexpected ending was not the conclusion of his story, but rather the beginning of a legacy. His mission to inspire forgiveness and create opportunities for others would continue through the work of his foundation and the countless lives touched by his story. And so, as the sun set on his career, David felt a sense of fulfillment. His life had been marked by hardship, resilience, and ultimately, the transformative power of forgiveness. Through it all, he had learned that even the most unexpected endings could lead to the most extraordinary journeys, and that in embracing our past and forgiving those who have hurt us, we unlock the true potential for growth, compassion, and healing. In the years that followed his retirement, David's legacy lived on. The foundation he had established continued to thrive, providing support and resources to countless individuals in need. Scholarships enabled children of incarcerated parents to pursue their dreams and break free from the chains of their circumstances. David took on a mentorship role, personally guiding and inspiring young individuals who had faced similar challenges. He shared his story with them, offering words of wisdom, encouragement, and the assurance that they too could overcome the obstacles in their path. As time went on, David's impact reached even further. His advocacy work led to policy changes within the criminal justice system, emphasizing rehabilitation and focusing on the potential for growth rather than punishment alone. He collaborated with organizations, policymakers, and influencers to raise awareness about the importance of second chances and the need for a more compassionate approach to those who had made mistakes. The media continued to follow David's journey, documenting the lives he had touched and the positive changes he had inspired. Books and documentaries chronicled his story, spreading his message of forgiveness and redemption to a wider audience. He became a revered figure, sought after for his wisdom and insight on matters of resilience, forgiveness, and social justice. Yet, amidst the recognition and accolades, David remained humble. He attributed his success to the support and love he had received throughout his journey, the unwavering support of his mother, the dedication of his cafe staff, and the resilience of the individuals he had encountered along the way. As the years passed, David's own family expanded. He met a remarkable woman, someone who shared his passion for social justice and had her own journey of transformation. They married, and together they raised a family built on love, forgiveness, and the belief in the inherent goodness of humanity. David's unexpected ending had turned into a lifelong commitment, a commitment to spreading compassion and understanding, to breaking down the barriers that held people back, and to giving voice to those who had been silenced by their past. When David's time on earth came to an end, he left behind a world forever changed by his unwavering belief in second chances. His funeral was attended by countless individuals whose lives had been touched by his story. They shared anecdotes of the kindness, wisdom, and compassion he had shown them. They recounted how his forgiveness had inspired them to forgive others and themselves. As his loved ones gathered to celebrate his life, they reflected on the remarkable journey that had led him to this moment. David's unexpected ending had become a powerful testament to the indomitable human spirit, the capacity for growth and change, and the profound impact that forgiveness could have on individual lives and society as a whole. And so, as David's story reached its conclusion, his spirit lived on, a beacon of hope, resilience, and forgiveness that would continue to guide and inspire generations to come. His legacy would forever remind the world that no matter how dark the past may be, there is always a path to redemption, and in forgiveness, true healing and transformation can be found. As years turned into decades, David's story became etched in the annals of history, a tale of triumph over adversity, of forgiveness that transcended boundaries, and of the transformative power of compassion. His legacy inspired countless individuals to confront their own pasts, to seek forgiveness, and to extend understanding to those who had wronged them. The foundation he had established continued to thrive, evolving into a global organization dedicated to rehabilitation, reintegration, and the pursuit of social justice. It became a catalyst for change, working tirelessly to reform policies and dismantle the systemic barriers that perpetuated cycles of crime and punishment. David's impact resonated far and wide. His memoir became a bestseller, translated into multiple languages, reaching corners of the world where stories of redemption were desperately needed. His message spread across continents, igniting conversations about forgiveness, empathy, and the potential for change. Leaders from various nations sought his counsel, inviting him to share his insights and experiences in their efforts to reshape their justice systems. David became a trusted advisor, lending his voice to the creation of laws and policies that prioritized rehabilitation and restorative justice. The cafe that had once been David's refuge blossomed into a franchise that spanned the globe. Each branch employed individuals who had overcome their own challenges, former inmates, recovering addicts, and those who had experienced the transformative power of forgiveness firsthand. The cafe became a symbol of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a gathering place for communities to come together in understanding and support. David's own family flourished, carrying on his legacy of compassion and social activism. His children and grandchildren followed in his footsteps, dedicating their lives to causes that championed forgiveness, equality, and the pursuit of a more compassionate world. His wife, a steadfast partner in his journey, continued to advocate for restorative justice, ensuring that David's mission lived on even in his physical absence. When David passed away, he left behind a world forever changed. His funeral was attended by people from all walks of life, former inmates, community leaders, scholars, and everyday individuals whose lives had been touched by his story. Tears mingled with smiles as they celebrated his life and the profound impact he had made. But the true measure of David's legacy lay in the countless lives he had transformed. They were the ones who carried his message forward, becoming beacons of forgiveness and agents of change within their own communities. David's story had become their story, an endless ripple of forgiveness and redemption that reverberated through generations. In the end, David's unexpected ending became a timeless tale, a testament to the enduring power of forgiveness, the resilience of the human spirit, and the limitless potential for transformation. And as his story echoed through time, it reminded us all that, in the darkest corners of our lives, forgiveness has the power to shine a light and guide us toward a future of compassion, understanding, and healing.